What separates cars that reach 500,000 miles from ones that don't hit 150,000? Most engines don't die from being old. They die because you followed bad guidelines. Factory schedules sell cars, not make them last. These 17 habits are from master mechanics with 30+ years experience. By the end, you'll know more than 90% of people. Let's start with the biggest lie in your owner's manual. Habit number 17. The real oil change rule. Your owner's manual says 10,000 miles between oil changes. Some luxury brands push it to 15,000. Here's what they're not telling you. That interval is designed to make their cars look low maintenance on the sales lot, not protect your engine long term. I've torn apart engines that followed factory intervals religiously. At 80,000 miles, they looked like they had 200,000. Timing chains stretched, cam phasers clogged with sludge, variable valve timing systems completely gummed up. Here's the real rule. Change your oil every 3,000 to 5,000 miles. Short trips and city driving, every 3,000 miles. Mixed driving, every 4,000 miles. Highway driving in clean conditions, 5,000 maximum. Use full synthetic for anything 2010 or newer. High mileage conventional for older engines. Always change the filter with the oil. Never reuse it. Buy quality filters. Fram ExtraGuard, Mobile One, or OEM. Check your oil level every 1,000 miles. Low oil kills engines faster than dirty oil. If you're burning or leaking oil, fix it immediately. But if you think oil changes are expensive, wait until you see what ignoring your transmission costs most people. Habit number 16. Transmission fluid reality check. Lifetime transmission fluid is the biggest lie in automotive marketing. That beautiful red fluid is working harder than any other fluid in your car, and it's slowly breaking down from heat and contamination. By the time you notice slipping or rough shifts, you're looking at $4,000 to $6,000 for a rebuild. The fix is simple. Drain and fill every 50,000 miles for normal driving, 30,000 if you tow or drive in mountains. Never do a full flush on high-mileage transmissions. Just drain and refill. Use only the exact fluid specified. Honda ATF DW1 for Hondas, Toyota WS for Toyotas, GM Dexron for GM vehicles. That generic, universal fluid causes long-term problems. Check the color and smell. Good fluid is bright red and smells sweet. Dark red or brown fluid with a burnt smell needs changing immediately. Black fluid means you're already too late. When you have fluid changed, ask to see the old fluid. If it's full of metal particles or looks like chocolate milk, start shopping for a new car. Speaking of fluids that destroy engines, the next one turns acidic and eats your engine from the inside out. Habit number 15. Coolant chemistry. Most people think coolant just prevents overheating. Wrong. Over time, coolant becomes chemically corrosive, eating your water pump, corroding your heater core, and attacking gaskets. I've seen perfect engines destroyed by old coolant. The water pump fails, the engine overheats once, and the head gasket blows. A $70 coolant flush could have prevented a $3,000 repair. Flush your coolant every 60,000 miles or 5 years, whichever comes first. Never mix coolant types. Green, orange, red, and blue use different chemistry. Mix them and you get gel that plugs passages. Use only what your manufacturer specifies. Toyota Red, Honda Blue, GM Dexcool aren't just colors. They're different chemical formulations. Next up, the component that can destroy your entire engine in seconds with zero warning. Habit number 14. Timing belt truth. Your manual says timing belts last 100,000 miles. Here's reality. Timing belts can fail catastrophically with zero warning, and when they do, your engine dies instantly. I've seen 7-year-old belts with only 40,000 miles snap in traffic. Heat cycles, oil seepage, and age all attack rubber. When it breaks, pistons and valves collide at high speed. The damage is devastating. Bent valves, damaged pistons, cracked heads. An $800 belt replacement becomes a $5,000 engine rebuild. Real replacement schedule. Inspect at 60,000 miles, replace by 70,000 miles or 7 years, whichever comes first. If you see cracks, glazing, or oil contamination, replace immediately. When replacing the belt, replace the water pump, tensioners, and idler pulleys simultaneously. These wear together, and skipping them means paying labor costs twice. Don't wait for complete failure, but even perfect timing won't help if your spark plugs are sabotaging every combustion cycle. Habit number 13. Spark plug selection. Cheap spark plugs destroy expensive engines. I've seen $40 worth of bargain plugs destroy a $2,500 catalytic converter. Here's how. Weak spark causes misfires. Misfires dump raw fuel into the exhaust, overheating and destroying the catalytic converter. Modern engines demand precision. Premium plugs use iridium and platinum because they resist erosion and maintain sharp edges longer for consistent ignition. My recommendations: NGK laser iridium for Japanese cars, Bosch double iridium for European vehicles, OEM only for American cars, Motorcraft for Ford, AC Delco for GM. Replace plugs every 60,000 to 70,000 miles, not the claimed 100,000. This is critical for turbocharged or direct injection engines. When removing old plugs, inspect them. Oil on threads means leaking valve covers. White deposits mean overheating. Black, sooty deposits mean running rich or carbon buildup. The next habit prevents fuel system problems that most people don't discover until their car dies on the highway. Habit number 12. Fuel system protection. Your fuel filter catches contamination from ethanol fuel, rusted tanks, and debris. Modern fuels create more contamination than ever, and clogged filters kill fuel pumps by forcing them to work harder. I've pulled filters packed with rust and sediment that looked like coffee grounds. Symptoms mimic expensive problems: hesitation, poor acceleration, misfiring, and stalling. Replace every 40,000 miles for normal driving, 20,000 if you buy gas from older stations. Use OEM or premium brands only: Bosch, Motorcraft, AC Delco. Cheap filters can disintegrate from ethanol. Never trust mechanics who say they blew out your filter. Filters are one-use items. Always replace, never clean. Add fuel system cleaner every 15,000 miles using Chevron Techron, Lucas, or Seafoam. Buy gas from busy stations with high turnover. Fresh fuel has fewer contaminants. For in-tank filters, replacement requires dropping the fuel tank. Expensive, but necessary. Now let's talk about the fluid that literally keeps you alive, and why it's probably more dangerous than you think. Habit number 11. Brake fluid science. Brake fluid absorbs water from the air constantly. This creates a safety hazard that can leave you without brakes when you need them most. Fresh DOT3 fluid boils at 401 degrees Fahrenheit, DOT4 at 446 degrees Fahrenheit. But after absorbing just 3% moisture, that boiling point drops to 280 degrees Fahrenheit. During hard braking, contaminated fluid boils, creating vapor bubbles that compress, giving you a soft pedal and no stopping power. Old brake fluid also corrodes brake lines, calipers, and master cylinders from the inside. Test moisture content with a $20 brake fluid tester. Over 3% moisture? Flush immediately. Flush every 30,000 miles or 3 years regardless. Use only the DOT rating specified in your manual. Higher ratings can substitute for lower ones, but not vice versa. Warning signs: soft pedal, pedal that sinks, brake warning light, or dark contaminated fluid. Address immediately. Coming up, the most neglected parts that cost more than a new car to replace when they fail. Habit number 10. Differential and transfer case care. These are the most neglected components on your car and some of the most expensive to replace. Your differential allows wheels to turn at different speeds. Transfer cases split power in a WD/4WD systems. Both use heavy gear oil under extreme pressure. Over time, this oil breaks down and picks up metal shavings, turning into abrasive paste that destroys bearings and gears. I've seen differentials whine for months before seizing completely. Once they lock up, you're looking at $2,000 to $4,000 for replacement. Change differential oil every 50,000 miles, 30,000 if you tow or use four-wheel drive frequently. Transfer case fluid every 40,000 miles. Use only specified gear oil, usually 75W-90 or 75W-140. Limited slip differentials need special additives. Clean the magnetic drain plug when changing. Those metal particles show internal wear. Warning signs: whining from the rear end, vibration at highway speeds, or fluid leaks under the car. The next component is so small you could lose it in your pocket, but when it fails, it can destroy your entire engine. Habit number 9, PCV system maintenance. The PCV valve controls pressure inside your engine. When it fails, pressure builds and blows seals, creating oil leaks and consumption problems. I've seen engines burn a quart every 1,000 miles because of a $15 PCV valve. The pressure forces oil past rings and valve seals, eventually blowing expensive gaskets like the rear main seal. Replace every 30,000 miles. It's usually in or near the valve cover. Check the entire system, replace cracked hoses, and clean mesh separators. Signs of problems: excessive oil consumption, rough idle, oil leaks, white smoke, or whistling from the engine bay. On turbocharged engines, this is even more critical. Boost pressure stresses the system harder, and oil vapor can damage turbochargers and intercoolers. This $20 part and 10 minutes of work prevents thousands in gasket repairs. Here's that power restoration trick I promised, and it only takes 10 minutes. Habit number 8, mass airflow sensor care. Your MAF sensor measures airflow so the computer calculates correct fuel mixture. When dirty, it causes gradual performance loss, rough idle, and worse fuel economy, problems people often attribute to getting old. The sensor uses heated wires that get coated with oil vapor and dust over time, throwing off readings. Before spending $200 to $400 on a new sensor, try cleaning it. Remove from the air tube. Unplug the connector. Spray with CRC MAF sensor cleaner only. Let air dry completely. Clean every 15,000 miles or when you notice hesitation, poor fuel economy, rough idle, or codes P0101 to P0104. If cleaning doesn't work, check for vacuum leaks. Unmeasured air after the MAF sensor causes identical symptoms. Performance air filters with oil contaminate sensors faster. Consider switching to dry filters if you have repeated problems. On direct injection engines, carbon buildup affects airflow readings. Professional intake cleaning may be needed. Quick question: if this $10 fix just saved you a trip to the mechanic, drop a comment below and let me know which habit surprised you most so far. And if you're finding this helpful, hit that subscribe button. It's free and helps more car owners discover these money-saving tips. What I'm about to show you next saves more money than any other single maintenance habit. Habit number 7, alignment awareness. Poor alignment doesn't just wear tires, it stresses suspension components, hurts fuel economy, and makes your car unsafe. I've seen cars eat $800 worth of tires in 20,000 miles from ignored alignment. Misalignment causes tires to scrub sideways, generating heat and uneven wear. It also stresses ball joints, tie rod ends, and wheel bearings, making them wear out faster. Check alignment every 6,000 miles. Look for uneven tire wear. Edge wear means camber problems. Both edges means overinflation or toe issues. Other signs: steering wheel off-center, pulling to one side, or highway vibration. Early correction saves money. Modern alignment requires computerized equipment and trained technicians. It's not cheap, but cheaper than replacing tires and suspension parts every 40,000 miles. Factors affecting alignment: potholes, curb impacts, worn suspension parts, and normal spring settling. Rough road drivers need more frequent checks. Some shops offer lifetime alignment packages, often worth it for long-term owners. Here's a warm-up mistake that's shortening your engine's life every single morning. Habit number 6, proper warm-up procedure. Modern engines don't need long warm-ups, but they need proper procedure. Cold engines run rich and create more wear, but revving a cold engine is worse than long idling. When you rev a cold engine, Thick oil doesn't flow quickly to upper components. High RPM means high-speed metal contact in bearings and cylinders, creating cumulative wear. Correct procedure. Start. Idle for 30 seconds maximum, then drive gently. Keep RPMs under 3,000 until the temperature gauge rises and cold indicator goes out. This is especially critical for turbocharged engines. Cold oil and boost pressure don't mix. Turbo bearings spinning at 100,000 plus RPM need proper lubrication immediately. Don't idle 10 minutes to defrost windows. Use defrosters and scrapers. Extended idling wastes fuel, creates carbon buildup, and doesn't warm transmissions or differentials. Remote start helps, but don't run unattended longer than 5 minutes. Consider block heaters in extreme cold. The next habit seems harmless, but creates problems that cost thousands to fix. Habit number 5. Idle time management. Extended idling creates expensive problems. At idle, oil pressure drops enough to reduce lubrication to critical components. Long idle periods cause rich running, washing oil off cylinder walls and contaminating crankcase oil. Direct injection engines suffer more because fuel injects directly into cylinders. Extended idling allows carbon buildup on intake valves, requiring expensive cleaning. I've seen engines develop lifter noise, cam wear, and valve seal problems from excessive idling. Repairs costing $1,500 to $3,000. Limit idling to 2 minutes maximum. Modern starters handle frequent starts better than engines handle long idles. Don't idle with a C running while parked for extended periods. This stresses cooling systems and wastes fuel. Remote start is convenient, but don't start 15 minutes before leaving. Long remote periods create the same problems as manual idling. Exception. Diesels benefit from longer idle periods to reach operating temperature, but limit to 5 minutes. Now here's that undercarriage secret that could save your car's life. Habit number 4. Undercarriage protection. Road salt doesn't just make cars dirty, it chemically attacks metal 24/7. Salt accelerates corrosion by conducting electricity and retaining moisture. I've seen brake lines rupture, fuel lines leak, exhaust systems fall off, and suspension components snap from salt damage. One customer's subframe broke in half. The car was only 8 years old. Salt attacks where you can't see. Frame rails, suspension mounts, brake lines, fuel lines. By the time you see body rust, structural damage is done. Wash undercarriage monthly during winter, after beach trips, or salted road driving. Garden hose works fine. Aim for wheel wells, frame rails, suspension, and exhaust. Get under the car safely and rinse everything. Salt packs into crevices where it holds moisture against metal. These areas corrode fastest. Consider thin, penetrating rust inhibitors for protection. Avoid thick, rubberized coatings that trap moisture. In snow country, rinse every time temps go above freezing to remove salt before maximum damage. The next 2 habits are quick but critical. Ignore them and you'll wish you hadn't. Habit number 3. Battery terminal maintenance. Battery terminal corrosion creates electrical resistance that strains your charging system and causes starting problems. That colored crud is battery acid eating copper and lead connections. Corroded terminals make alternators work harder, shortening both components' lives. Poor connections cause voltage fluctuations that confuse computers and trigger false codes. Clean every 6 months or when you notice buildup. Mix baking soda with warm water. Scrub with old toothbrush. Rinse clean. Dry thoroughly. The fizzing neutralizes acid. After cleaning, coat with dielectric grease or petroleum jelly to prevent future corrosion. Check battery condition while cleaning. Look for swelling, cracks, or leaks. Test voltage. 12.6 volts or higher with engine off indicates good condition. Replace batteries proactively at 4 to 5 years before they fail. Dead batteries fail at worst times and can damage charging systems. Extreme climates require more frequent checking. This next habit could literally save your life, and it only takes 30 seconds. Habit number 2. Listen to your car. Your car warns you constantly through sounds, but most people turn up the radio instead of listening. These noises are early warning systems, saving thousands if you pay attention. Squealing brakes? Worn pads or warped rotors. Fix now for $300 to $600. Ignore and damage rotors for $800 to $1,200. Clicking when turning? CV joint failing. Replace now for $400 to $600. Wait for complete failure and add towing costs. Engine knocking? Carbon buildup, worn bearings, or timing issues. Any knock needs immediate diagnosis. Continue driving and risk complete failure. Transmission whining? Low fluid, worn pump, or internal damage requiring professional diagnosis. Grinding means metal on metal contact. Brake pads worn through. Failing wheel bearings or destroyed CV joints needing immediate attention. Turn off radio occasionally and listen. Drive with windows cracked. Healthy cars sound smooth and consistent. Document when noises occur. Only cold, only turning, only under load. This helps mechanics diagnose faster and cheaper. And finally, the number one habit that separates smart car owners from everyone else. Habit number 1. Maintenance documentation. Memory fails, receipts fade. But proper records prevent missed services, support warranty claims, and boost resale value by thousands. Use a notebook, smartphone app, or spreadsheet. Record every service, date, mileage, work done, parts used, costs. Include everything: oil changes, tire rotations, brake work. Documentation helps spot patterns. Why brake pads every 25,000 miles? Why batteries every 3 years? Patterns reveal underlying problems. Maintenance records prove warranty coverage. If an engine fails at 90,000 miles but you prove religious oil changes, you have leverage for goodwill coverage. Well-documented cars sell for thousands more than ones with no history. Buyers pay premiums for proven care. Professional mechanics appreciate good records. Instead of guessing previous work, they focus on actual problems, saving diagnostic time and money. Take photos of major repairs and receipts. Digital records won't fade and can be cloud stored. These 17 habits aren't just maintenance tips, they're insurance against expensive repairs. Each prevents failures costing 10 to 20 times more to fix than prevent. The difference between cars dying at 150,000 miles and reaching 500,000 isn't luck or brand loyalty. It's following these proven habits that master mechanics use on their own vehicles. Start implementing immediately. Your car will run better, use less fuel, and maintain higher resale value throughout its life. If this video saves you from one major repair, it's paid for itself 100 times over. Hit subscribe for more money-saving tips, and I'll see you in the next video. Your car will thank you, and so will your wallet.